Hey, welcome back into the garage, and what we're doing today is swapping out the CarPlay Aoocci C6 on 690 to the new BX version. There's the C6, and we're fitting the Auchi BX with physical BSD, which means it's got blind spot monitoring, GPS, and this time the display is in MPH as well as flicking to KPH and so much more. It's a much better, robust unit. Not to say the C6 wasn't any good, I really like the C6, it was spot on. But anyway, less waffle, let's get this fitted. Right, as you can see, we have an absolute spaghetti of cables to put in. You've got the little controller that goes on the handlebars, you've got what I believe is the blind spot monitoring, power, a GPS sensor, brackets, spacers I think for the bracket, multitude of fixings, and then the front and rear cameras. And then this mount, which I'm not too sure, I think possibly go onto this one. Oh dear. And then actually get some tools, cable ties, screen. And here's the main unit here. A little bit smaller than the C6. You see, here's the C6 here. So you can see a bit of a difference. Lower it down a bit, see a bit of a difference there. And then no sun visor on there. So let's get on with it. Right, I have to admit, I get quite excited about doing stuff to the bikes, especially new stuff that I haven't done before. But this, I'm not looking forward to. Right, I've already put the power cable through. I've just undone the bracket here and pushed it through a little bit. Totally different to the previous one, because on the back of the unit you've just got one single cable, where on the C6 you've got a multitude of cables hanging out of it. So that's one good thing, you've only got one cable to mess around with. The fun part is getting all these wired in through here. Right, I didn't record connecting the power cable up because it was just too long-winded and it would have been boring for you. So what I've done, connected directly to the battery, not to an accessory socket, so positive, negative, and then it comes with a third cable, if you can see that accessory. So what I've done, I've wired it directly to the fuse box into the accessory fuse port, which is that one there, number 8. I've scotch clipped it behind there. It's not ideal, I don't really like scotch clips. Used them many a time in the past, but I'd rather wire things up properly. But anyway, it's connected via there. So ignition on, the unit comes on, ignition off, goes off. So this is going to be neatly, it's got the little box. I'm going to make it all neat and tidy around here. Right, now I've got the main power wired in. I've just connected the rear camera. There. Wired it up through there, pulled the grommet out, and then that leaves the cable to be connected there. Now I've got the radar. Now this connects via Bluetooth. I thought it was hardwired, but it's not. So now I've got to find power for this as well. So that's what I'm going to do next. All these cables I've undone. They're like the indicator cables, the tail light, the number plate light. So what I've done here is the old tail tidy came with a separate license plate light, number plate light, which we've done away with because this one has one built in, it's just hidden. So we've activated that when we swapped the tail tidy out. So we've got this spare, which was the original license plate, number plate number. So we're going to use that for power for the radar. So for the radar, I've cannibalised the old tail tidy lights connector, connected them up there, and just about to put some heat shrink on. That'll do nicely. Okay, that's the radar connector all sorted out. Now what I've had to do, as you can see with this camera here and the radar, I've had to cut the bracket down because I want to fit it on the bottom of the number plate so it's got a clear view. But with the original bracket, it's like this one, so you can't get a full tilt. I just got the hacksaw out and I've cut it down so I now stick it to the back of the number plate. Now to try and tidy this lot up again. Obviously if you've got a different bike, a much bigger bike, you've probably got a bit more room to play with the cables. Obviously a little 690 doesn't, it makes it even worse because of the tail tidy. Almost forgot to push that little grommet back in. That's the rear camera all wired in. Right, now for the GPS box. Now I did think about putting it here because that would have been a nice neat little place for it. Cables running across there, but the ECU sits on the top. Don't know whether that would affect it. Good enough place for it. But does GPS need a sort of direct line of sight rather than have a box of electrics sitting on top of it? So I think a better place for it is here on top of the airbox. At least you've only got the seat covering it up. So that's where it's going to go. Let's give that a clean. Just a bit of water soluble diggeriser that way down so I can stick a load of the cable down there because there's a lot of cable. I don't have OCD, but I think when it comes to cable management, I think I do. To the front again, so we've got the GPS connecting to the GPS. At least the cables behind here won't be as messy and I'll be able to get the headlight back on easier. It was quite a bit of a ball ache last time. So that's everything wired up apart from what we've got left, the controller. Now we have the controller fitted to the handlebars. We just have to push the cable through and the final one connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get your power, the controller, the GPS, front and rear cameras, and the handlebar controller. Right, now I've got all this little spaghetti mess all sorted out, I think. Let's try and get the headlight back in. There's not a lot of room. And the answer to that was yes. All that's left now is to put the plastics on, which I'm not going to film. You've seen me do that enough times before when I fit the previous unit. So there you have it. And that is it. The unit is on. Oh my goodness, how long did this take me? This took me, we're stopping for some food for around about 45-50 minutes. This has probably took me a good 6 hours. This video is probably only going to be about 10 or 15 minutes long. Anyway, here's a recap of what we did. So we got the rear camera and the radar sensor. That's like blind spot monitoring in your car. We connected the radar into the tail light power, and then we've got the cables running all the way down here and down here to under the ECU. We've got it nice and neat. The main power supply, we ran the live and the negative, and then we had an extra wire, this one here, which had to go to an accessory live, which I've wired into the fuse box. And we go down there, we've got the GPS sensor fitted there. It was there, couldn't put the seat on. So the GPS sensor is there, all the wiring down here. We come all the way up through there, up into there. All the wiring there is behind the headlight with the main cable coming up to the unit itself. And there we have the new unit. Try not to get the shine in there. Completely new layout. You've got miles per hour now, where the other one's KPS. You've got the tyre pressure monitoring. I forgot to add that. Here we have them, the sensors just here. Get it into focus. They just screw onto the valves. And then you pair to the main unit. So yeah, MPH, and then you got your tyre pressures. You got a compass there, mobile screen for connecting to your Apple CarPlay or your Android if you run Android phones. It's got the time, all your setups on here. You got your Bluetooth symbol, Wi-Fi. There is software now available to update these units. You've got an SD card that fits in the top there, just like the other one. Radar settings. You can play around with those, set them all up, it's paired, that's for your Bluetooth, and then your settings all along there. Set your speed units, your language, time settings, instruments, all of these settings. So it's a hell of a lot more than the previous unit. Still yet to go out and test ride it. It's been a long ass day and it's so damn warm. It's been 40 odd plus degrees in this garage, it's been ridiculous. So I will test ride it in this video, but it won't be today. Right, well, it's been a few days later since the install and as the UK has been basking for several weeks in glorious sunshine and high temperatures, and yeah, and I end up coming out in this. How typical. Anyway, the Aoocci BX is all fitted, installed, everything. which you've obviously just seen. So now we're out for a little test ride, and I am pretty impressed. So also, because it's connected up to Apple CarPlay, your phone calls will come through, be displayed on there. You got the button there to answer and cancel them. Also, that little phone symbol there will take a snapshot, the photo taken, and then scroll through your front and rear cameras, and then click on home. I'm still learning this, to be honest, there. And now we've got CarPlay set up with the usual. If you're using Apple CarPlay, you'll know the system, you'll know what it looks like. Also, if you've got Android Auto, this will do the same thing. I haven't used Android Auto in quite a long time, so I can't comment on how that is. You've also, just slightly forgetting, you've got an SD card under here. Also the radar settings. It's paired. Now the radar, as you see in the fitting, it connects via Bluetooth. So you've got to have a separate power supply for that. And you've got all the switching, radar mirroring, if you want to swap it around for detection. Radar rear view, so obviously it's going to come on. Your rear view camera is going to be displayed if something comes up, so you can actually see it. Everything else, okay, so swap the radar because it was the left one that was indicating. So we've got another car coming up. Let's see which side it flashes. That's it, that's what you want. I need to have mirroring on then, so the car on the right hand side, car on the left side, blah blah blah. So the front and rear cameras act just like a dash cam in your car, so it's constantly recording. It also has a feature, and I think that's why the power supplies to the battery, and you've got the ignition accessory one, is because if somebody knocks your bike while it's parked up, the cameras will just come on and start recording. Yeah, so comparing the two units, the C6, still a great unit, really like that. Still waiting on whether you can update it or not. I constantly keep asking, can this have a software update? Because obviously the first thing with the C6 is it's only shown in kph, and obviously you UK guys want it in mph. So I keep asking the question, I keep getting told the same thing, they're working on an update, which, are they or are they not? We don't know. But this new unit here, so many more features, and I'm not too sure on the price, so I don't know if it's much of a difference between the old unit, in all honesty. That's something I did fail to look at. I will bring it up on the screen, along with my discount. Robbie22 is still available, so you can get 22% off this unit by going on to the Aoocci website, link in the description. And yes, if you buy it, I'm open. I do to get a little bit of a kickback if you buy one. There's a few of you guys that have already bought the C6, which, thank you very much. And hopefully most of you know me by now. I'm not going to recommend a piece of equipment just for the sake of it. You know, if I feel this unit was rubbish, I'd tell you it's rubbish. How can I forget one of the most important features? As well as being able to change mph and kph, you can update this unit via the app on your phone. You download the app, where you can download your videos, and it's also got an OTA, over the air option, to update it, which is great. So much easier. So not just being able to update it by taking the SD card out, you can now update it via your phone. Right, I feel I've waffled on enough now. Any questions, feel free. I mean, I'm still getting used to the menu settings, but ask me any questions you want, pass any comments. I'm going home now. I'm going to dry out and go and have some breakfast. So as always, thank you for watching. Take care and ride safe.